since then, there's some questions. And, Jay, that's the question I think tonight is that both these teams have to show up and start to prove themselves all over again since that game.
Both these teams have lost a little of their mojo, especially Gonzaga. And, it's hard to believe a team as accomplished as Gonzaga has been, they're having a little bit of a crisis of confidence. And it's tough to find your confidence in an arena like Thompson Bowling when you're going against a team that's got a 37 home game winning streak. It's very difficult.
Gonzaga's not a team that sneaks up on people anymore. Let's face it, since Mark Few in his 10th season, 9 straight years to the NCAA tournament, 3rd most wins in school history. And Bruce Pearl on the other side has just revitalized Tennessee basketball from the men's standpoint. Coach Summit always had that with the women's games here, but it is a sold-out crowd. It's a vocal crowd on a cold night in Knoxville, and we're about set to warm it up right here. We're underway. Chisholm doesn't mind shooting outside, and he missed the opener, but it comes out to Tyler Smith, and they'll have another chance. Mays for 3.
Already 2 offensive rebounds for Tennessee, and that is going to be a big factor in this game. Tennessee, the best offensive rebounding team in the Southeastern Conference, and Gonzaga's got to keep them from getting second opportunities.
Talk about having 2 open outside looks, and it's a nice pass underneath from Bolden to Heidfeld.
Heidfeld just slipping that little screen there. That's going to be there because of the overplay from Tennessee. Jimmy Dykes mentioned Tennessee finding their defensive identity. I think one thing they're going to have to do is they're going to have to dial their defense down a little bit, build a wall, and make people shoot over.
Here's a wide open look for 3 from Bolden. And the rebound off to Mays, and he's going to hustle down and take it himself. Well, that's 4 straight misses on pretty good looks by Tennessee.
One of the problems Tennessee's got starting out is Gonzaga's getting way too many easy looks. They're guys that are wide open.
Including May, who got a pretty straight-on look right there and drained it. Austin Day, and it's 4-0 Gonzaga.
Austin Day has been struggling, especially over his last 3 games. He's not a player that's strong physically, but he is very, very skilled.
Mays works the baseline straight up. That's twice he's missed in close. So Tennessee can't buy one here. 0 for 5 in the opening minute and a half.
They've been struggling, Brad, from some bad starts. They got off to a really bad start against Kansas, but battled their way back with a chance really at 77-70 to get back in it.
They lost that one by 7 in Lawrence in their last outing. And Gonzaga comes in with a 3-game losing skid. So normally we're talking about these teams winning. Outlet pass by Chisholm. Cargo playing strong safety back there, knocked it away.
Josh Heidfeld doing a good job of setting that screen and immediately rolling to the basket. Nobody picks him up on the roll. Nobody rotates over. And that's a problem that Tennessee has had this season. They have not been a good defensive team.
They're allowing 43% from the floor to the opposition. That's not going to work. They're first in the conference in the SEC in scoring. The bad news is they're last in the SEC in points allowed.
And the field goal percentage wouldn't be so horrible. I mean, it's bad at 43%, but if they were forcing a lot of turnovers, the problem is they're not forcing a lot of turnovers.
Exactly. They had way too many of their own the last time these 2 teams met. Chisholm had it blocked by either Day or Heidfeld underneath. At any rate, it's out of bounds for the Volunteers.
Well, Austin Day, just a sophomore, he is 6'10", long arms, leads this team in block shots.
Inbound to Chisholm. Half hook. He walked with it before the shot. So last time they had 21 turnovers. They've got 2 here in the first 2 minutes and change.
And Bruce Pearl just told his team, hey, get back and play defense. This is not time to complain. It's time to knuckle down and play ball.
There's a backdoor cut by Heidfeld. Great pass by Gray.
That is way too easy. Chisholm lost view of man and ball,
got above the line of his man, and a terrific back cut by Josh Heidfeld.
The Bulldogs have completely taken the Thompson Bowling Arena crowd out of it here in the first couple minutes. Prince loses the handle, but it comes clean to Tyler Smith.
Tennessee feels a little rushed right now. They need to take their time and get into something and really get into their flex and get a good shot.
Well, they got a good look at 3 from Cameron Tatum. That's his 20th of the year. He's their top 3-point shooter, not necessarily percentage, but in numbers. And he's got their first bucket.
Cameron Tatum was great in game against Georgetown. Came in, knocked some shots down, especially in the second half. And he's one of the guys that can help stretch the defense, which there aren't many on this team.
Well, they don't have a Chris. Yeah, they don't have a Chris Lofton anymore. And foul on Wayne Chisholm. His first.
Now let's take a look at this here. Wayne Chisholm, you can see right here at the foul line. Now watch Josh Heitfeld. He is right here. Now Heitfeld is going to go down, set a little screen, and then come back up. When he does come back up, you can see Chisholm gets way too high, loses sight of man and ball. Just an easy opportunity.
Heitfeld at the free throw line. 75% free throw shooter. And he missed them both. Quick first step on the baseline. Shot goes. Tatum again.
That's one of the ways you don't have to go against a half-court defense. And not a good decision by Jeremy Pargo. But if you beat it down the floor, you can get some easier opportunities. You don't have to grind it out all game long.
So 6 straight for openers for Gonzaga, 5 straight for Tennessee. And now they got a chance to take the lead this trip.
Gonzaga's been playing a soft man. They're going to play a lot of zone in this game.
Woolridge in the lineup for Tennessee. Tatum feeling it. Got it. Tennessee, their first lead.
Hey, Brad, isn't it amazing when a shooter sees the ball go through once?
Yep.
All of a sudden that confidence level rises, that basket gets so much bigger, and then you've got a real problem as a defender. You're guarding a confident shooter.
Here's Pargo. Nice drive on the baseline, but he left it short. Tab will clear off the rebound.
Nice hesitation move. Nobody came over from the weak side.
Tyler Smith just threw it to the other side with Stephen Gray. Bolden going to get bumped in route. Foul will be on Josh Tabb. Cameron Tatum. Vols are leaning on him from the outside, and they lead by 2.
Always difficult to beat down there, and I think Florida State has gotten off to a really good start in this season. Having a signature win over a team like Duke or Carolina is what they need to make the NCAA tournament.
It's Matt Bolden's first points. Averaging 11 points a ball game.
Now, Brad, anytime you've got a confidence problem and you're playing a team that presses, they're giving you an opportunity.
And Gonzaga's got to have an attack mentality in this game and take advantage of that opportunity that pressing is going to give them.
Tatum thought about it. Now he'll drive with the underhand scoop. He's got a good feeling about how things are going.
Well, considering he scored every point, and I'm not sure that Tennessee can keep this up. They've got to get somebody else, but Tatum has come in here in this start, and when the rest of his team has been struggling, he's really stepped forward.
Brian Williams in the lineup for the first time for Tennessee as well. Trying to defend Heitfeld. They're looking to get it to him.
He was open, too. Micah Downs just missed him.
Yep. There's Pargo. The quick crossover. Bolden, 4 on the shot clock. He's got a drive, puts it up with the right hand. Williams, the aforementioned big man, clears the glass.
Tatum's open in the corner.
Oh, boy, is he ever. There goes. Oh, chance for a 4-pointer. You couldn't get that ball over to them quick enough, could you? You saw it from here.
When you are hot, you're hot, and everybody should be looking for Cameron Tatum because he has proven to be hot. You ride that horse until it dies. And right now, that horse is taking you toward the finish line in fine fashion. Cameron Tatum setting his feet, and a terrific pass by Josh Tabb. He's a lefty and used that left hand to just push pass it into the corner. And Tatum having a little bit too much to say there. He needs to just keep playing because he's playing very well.
Cameron Tatum, 14. Gonzaga, 7.
Might be time to bring out that Jimmy Patsos triangle in 2 and put the 2 on Tatum.
Chisholm with the rebound. Got it up to Tatum, who lost the handle momentarily. Well, you might as well let him touch it again if you can get it to him. I think the heat check's over. We know it's hot. Here it goes. That one's partially blocked, and Pargo will take it out of midair, but he stepped on the baseline.
Pargo rebounds and out of bounds. Basketball to Tennessee.
Cameron Tatum, all 14 of Tennessee's points. He'll get a chance to cool off the sizzle over there on the bench for a minute.
You got to watch Brian Williams here on the inbounds pass. They like to just throw it up and maybe lob it.
Comes out front to Josh Tabb. And Tabb is bumped. Foul will be on Goodson.
And Dimitri Goodson is the point guard of the future for Gonzaga. And he really puts, he's got quick on quick, puts really good pressure on the ball. Just got that elbow.
Oh, almost in the backcourt, but threw it away anyway.
And those are the kind of turnovers that really kill you as a coach. It's just a simple inbounds play and you turn it over.
Let's see if Gonzaga can get some offense going. They had the lead 6-0 early.
If they set ball screens, 2 or 3 of them, they're going to get some openings because Tennessee did not handle ball screens very well when they played Kansas.
Pargo tried to just power through 2 defenders when he lost the ball. Nightbell will clear the glass. 7 minutes in. Tennessee up by 7. Nice leave underneath, but a block shot by Chisholm.
Chisholm knocked it away from Tabb trying to get down the floor.
That jump stop is going to be a foul.
What a bad break for Tennessee. Wayne Chisholm with the block and just trying to run the floor. He can't fault the effort.
But he was the one that knocked that ball away from Josh Tabb, and Dimitri Goodson just took it to the rack. And Tabb, that was not a very good foul because he did it in kind of wimpy fashion. I mean, go after the ball. If you're going to get that foul, make sure that Goodson can't complete the play, and he just about was able to put that in.
Goodson, 61% from the free throw line so far this year. Freshman out of Spring, Texas.
Yeah, Brad, those are the kind of mistakes that really add up over the course of the game. Throwing away the inbounds pass when you got some momentum.
Right.
You block a shot when really Gonzaga had a layup, and you knock it away, and all of a sudden they get 2 free throws out of it. That can really hurt you during the course of the ball game.
Goodson got them both. And Bruce Pearl doing some serious coaching over there to his backcourt. On the bench. Still, they maintain a 5-point lead with just under 13 minutes to play in the first half.
But Gonzaga going with a 2-3 zone here. The place to get it is in the middle. They can get into the middle of that zone and make a play from the middle. They can find some open shots.
Taking it in is Hobson, who we didn't know if we'd even see. As the flu, didn't look like he had the flu on that one. He flew right over his defender for his first basket.
You know what's funny, Brad? Sometimes players can play better when they're not feeling well.
Concentrate more.
Well, you're concentrating on the things you can do instead of flying all over the place. And Scotty Hobson, who's been pulling the trigger, frankly, on some shots maybe he shouldn't be taking throughout the season. A little shot fake, and he drove it.
Gray misses a 3, and Hobson's got the rebound.
Hobson's come in, done 2 very good things in 2 trips.
Williams, quick hook. Ball still loose, and Gonzaga can't find a handle. Nobody could. Timeout. 11:57 remaining in the first half. Tennessee's matched its biggest advantage of the ball game, up 7 with 11:57 to go in the half.
That's where he was selected. He's had a great NBA career. It was great to see him win a championship last year.
Absolutely. Here's Hobson outside, and he hits a 3. So Hobson with the flu, Tatum, who's healthy. Those two have all of Tennessee's points.
Boy, what a terrific play by Tennessee, getting the ball into the middle, into the hands of Tyler Smith, the playmaker, who was able to get it to Scotty Hobson, who could step into that shot. And Hobson, he's such a great athlete. When he can drive the ball, he's that much more effective. But see, the ball, he gets the ball into the middle of the floor, draws the defense, everybody inside the lane, and Hobson able to step into that shot for 3.
Goodson with Mays on him. Lead is double digits. And now that'll send Day to the free throw line.
The ball screens are really difficult right now for Tennessee to guard. Every time there's been a roll off a ball screen, whether it's been Josh Heitfeld or whether it's been Austin Day, they've been wide open. Here's the ball screen, the hedge, nobody comes over. That is just way too easy. I mean, if you're going to hedge like that, you've got to be able to hedge and recover. And you've also got to have somebody from the weak side that is seeing the ball and watching that is in the middle of the floor that can come over and rotate.
And as good as we've seen Wayne Chisholm at times play, he's been the guy caught with his shorts around his ankles on a couple of those.
No question.
They got one of two.
One thing you don't want to do, Brad, as we talked about before, is letting a really good scorer see the ball go through the net. And when you foul a guy like Austin Day, it gives him the confidence of watching that ball go through a couple times.
Hobson, just a power feed to Chisholm.
How did that ball get through there?
He had some Zuzu on that baby, or it never would have got there because somebody had a hand on it.
It depends on which coach is watching on film, because Bruce Pearl's going to say, hey, great pass. And Mark Few's going to say, how could you let that get through there?
There's a nice cut to the basket by Bolden again. And that's what's gotten Gonzaga most of its points.
2-3 zone again. Again, the middle is open. Tyler Smith's the guy that has to get to the middle. Move the ball from side to side and attack with a flash.
They get it to him on the wing, and he'll try to back in. And feeds Chisholm again. Left hand this time for the big guy.
Chisholm kind of hid behind the back of that zone. He just flashed in there, and give a lot of credit to Tyler Smith for seeing him.
Down short on a three. Rebound off to Prince. Back comes Tennessee with an 11-point cushion. Prince going to try a triple of his own.
Did he get off the floor?
It didn't look like it. He's had a bad ankle. He missed 3 games with a bad ankle. And that looked like me taking a shot out there. Bolden on the drive.
Well, if Tennessee is building a wall defensively, that wall has got an awful lot of holes in it, because Matt Bolden just went 85 feet and nobody got in his way. He went all the way to the rim.
Nice lob, but Chisholm foul is going to be on Day before Wayne could go up.
Wayne Chisholm has proven to be a very good player. You can see right here, there's that pass that gets through. That's just bad defense by Austin Day, not playing up the line. He needed to be up the line to get that pass, and very nice flash getting by Day again. Been burned twice. Just a nice little flash in the middle of that zone. When you stay behind it, to make the defense turn its head.
That three-pointer won't go, but Tyler Smith's in the right place to keep it alive, and he'll go back up with it, and he's fouled.
Every shot that goes up for Tennessee, Brad, they send 4 guys to the offensive glass. And Gonzaga cannot jump with the Volunteers. They have got to hit them and turn and go. Whether it's a box out or whether you just hit and go, you have got to lay body on a Tennessee Volunteer, or they're going to cut you up on a glass.
Here's Mr. Versatility at the free throw line. Tyler Smith, who has his first point. He's 8th in the conference in scoring, 18th in rebounding, 9th in assists, 12th in field goal percentage, and 15th in free throw percentage. He's that kind of guy. He doesn't have a great shot. He just works hard all the time. All SEC a year ago, and there's his first 2 points in the ballgame.
You know, with all those accolades, I don't think he's played his best yet.
No, I don't either.
I think he's got a lot better in him, and as his teammates get better, he's going to be able to do more with them.
Well, Notre Dame's got that long winning streak of 44 games and a year-old buddy. And now Bruce Pearl, 37 straight here. Goes back to Kentucky over 2 years ago. And backdoor cut, the bounce pass intercepted by Prince. Ahead, and one.
I'll tell you what, Brad, Emmanuel Negadu did a great job on defense on the last possession and then just raced out the other end. Terrific pass ahead by J.P. Prince, but Negadu really fought on the other end to keep Josh Heitfeld from rolling after that high ball screen. Might have fouled him, but at least he fought him. And that's the kind of effort that Bruce Pearl needs defensively and the kind of energy that Emmanuel Negadu can bring into this game.
Negadu, 82% free throw shooter, shows why. 3-point play, and the lead swells to 28-14 as the Volunteers have got the Bulldogs doubled.
We'll
how much more active Negadu is, getting out there, hedging and recovering. And he has done a much better job on ball screens just in 2 possessions.
Bolden, nice fadeaway jumper, showing his outside shooting prowess. He's got 7. He's trying to hold things together here.
Another thing Bolden can do is post up, and Gonzaga will run some sets to get him posting up against a guard.
Cameron Tatum down on the low block. Let's see if they try to run him free. He was so hot early.
Sticking with this 2-3 zone. I think Tennessee needs a little bit more movement against it. They're a little stagnant right now.
6 on the shot clock. Long ball by Tatum. Got it! He took that one from Hill Street. Pargo, that's his first basket.
What a strong move. Bobby Mays played pretty darn good defense to force a very difficult shot.
And Pargo, you can see the power that he has and the explosiveness. And he was a 2-guard West Coast Conference Player of the Year last year. And this year, more of a, what I would say, trying to be a pure point guard. He's really done a good job of it.
Now Cameron Tatum, he has been all over the place for the Volunteers tonight. He's a point shy of his career high, and we still have 7:41 to go in the first half. It's enough to make you smile in Knoxville.
#1 team. I think it's pretty simple, and people should jump on the bandwagon.
I think so too. And that's a big win for Tommy and the group.
Jeremy Lin's a really good player, but
I think anybody would admit, even Tommy Amaker, as proud as he is of the effort of his team, that Boston College had to help them out. And clearly Boston College wasn't ready for a fight when they went into that game with Harvard. Here's Bolden posting up, trying to get Cameron Tatum into the post.
Bolden all the way in the lane, up and under, and rejected out of there by Tyler Smith. And the scramble for the ball. Good hustle by both teams. Ira Brown and Tatum on the deck, and it's going to go over to Gonzaga.
Cameron Tatum did a really nice job. Gonzaga ran that 2-3 set to get Bolden inside and post him up in the middle, and Tatum pushed him all the way out of the lane and rooted him out of there because he was open.
They got to think about the shot clock now, and Pargo does miss the shot. Tipped out. Nice job by Heitfeld to give him another chance. Here's Brown for 3. Big shot for Ira Brown.
Ira Brown has the distinction of being the oldest player on the floor at 26 years old. Spent 5 years in the minor leagues as a pitcher.
And he just pitched his second 3-pointer of the year.
2-3 zone, and Tennessee looking to screen the zone, essentially set a ball screen on the top of that 2-3 zone.
And tap.
You got Negadu leaning into it a little bit too much. You got to have discipline when you set screens, and Negadu's so energetic, just went up there with a little too much energy and picked up the foul.
The crowd has settled just a little bit. I know it's a 10-point game, but they were into it moments ago, and now if the Bulldogs can score on this trip, they're going to take a little bit more out of it. Well, that will help the crowd's cause. Tyler Smith with the steal.
Gonzaga very fortunate there, made a stand. That was a horrible pass by Josh Heitfeld.
Heitfeld for 3. Bolden kept it alive. They bring it back out on top to Pargo. Ooh, I don't know about that behind the back dribble. He's got more turnovers than he's got points tonight, I'll tell you that much.
Well, just a couple of bad decisions. First a shot by Heitfeld, and then Pargo needed to pull it back out and run something.
And Woolridge missed a 3 badly.
Almost like a bad decision being matched by bad decision by each team right now.
Exactly. We're under 6 minutes. Heitfeld, there's a good decision. Knocked down the 3.
It's a good decision if it goes in.
He's capable of shooting pretty well out there if you give him enough room. And Bruce Pearl didn't like the looks of his Tennessee team right there as the lead has been sliced down to 7. Well, with Arkansas's win last night in Fayetteville over Texas, that should put the Hogs in the rankings. And while a lot of those teams in the SEC may not be ranked, the competitiveness, I think we're going to have good games all year. At least that's what we're looking forward to on Super Tuesday every Tuesday night.
Well, the SEC is still a great league, and it just may not be quite as powerful as we would expect year after year after year. It's set such a high standard with all the Final Four teams and ranked teams, but they're going to have some really good teams come out of this league by the end.
Offensive foul called on Brown, and that stops a 8-0 Gonzaga run. They had things going their way. They got it down to single digits, though, at the 5-minute mark here in Knoxville.
Part of being a really good team, Brad, is knowing when to pull the trigger and knowing when to pull it back out. And both teams are struggling with that right now.
Tatum pulled it from way out here and missed it.
And when you take a quick shot, you can't expect there to be any offensive rebounding.
There's a whistle, foul inside. And it's going to be on J.P. Prince. Bruce Pearl, his 4th year, 86 wins, 27 losses, the 6th Baptist coach to 400 victories, and second among active coaches, only to Roy Williams. And really has been a guy that's just sort of ignited not just Knoxville, but he's kind of put a boost in the whole SEC the way he goes about things.
Well, he's done a great job. I mean, he sold this program, and I think a lot of people, myself included, weren't sure that this kind of excitement at Tennessee and this kind of consistency was really possible.
And he has proven that it's possible, and he's done it by virtue of his will and his enthusiasm, and obviously great coaching.
Nice drive to the basket by Prince.
A nice job of lifting that 2-3 zone and attacking it.
Bolden looking for a screen from Heitveld.
Tennessee's been sticking man-to-man all game, and this is a guy they always have to stay with.
Man, Stephen Gray, that one was way out there.
He's a player. He may be the most complete player on this Gonzaga team. Stephen Gray has got a lot of ability, but he's got such a laid-back personality. I'm not sure he really realizes just how good he is.
Jay, this is an 11-2 run for Gonzaga right now. It was 31-16 not that long ago.
It's been a quiet run, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's been nothing spectacular about it, but I think Tennessee has participated in this run by making some bad decisions.
Bobby Mays, a triple on the way. Kept alive and tipped up and in. By who else? Cameron Tatum. And he's just matched his career high all in the first half.
Well, Brad, when Tennessee runs good offense, then they've got offensive rebounders there, and they're that much more difficult to deal with. When they take quick shots, they are not giving their offensive rebounders an opportunity to clean up a miss.
Gray almost threw it away.
It's amazing how much more intense their defense is after a score, isn't
Yep, it is. Chisholm pulls off the backside rebound, and then he's fouled. With 3:07 remaining in the half, J.P. Prince kind of got things going, got the excitement going for Tennessee. And then Cameron Tatum. It's almost like Cameron Indoor here tonight at Thompson Bowling. He's got 19.
To see his face in it. But let's take a look at the great job done by Brian Williams here. Brian Williams is right here. Watch on ball reversal how he seals off Josh Heitveld and just gets his rear end into him and seals him off, and that allows J.P. Prince to get all the way to the rim. That is, I know Jimmy has talked about using your backside to post up and clear space, and that's exactly what Brian Williams did there by making that lane available for his teammate J.P. Prince to get all the way to the rack.
That wasn't quite a butt post, Jimmy Joe, but that was a butt screen, so I know you'll be happy about that. Chisholm at the free throw line. You talk about a guy that's improved his free throw shooting from a year ago. I'm telling you, he never shot 60% in the first 2 years. He right now is shooting a little bit over 76% from the line.
He does need to improve his socks, though.
I like the socks.
Those are socks you would never wear.
Yes, I would. Only to a clown show. There they are. Those are beauties.
I'll tell you, you know you've got game when you wear socks like that.
Absolutely.
And he does have game.
He has really improved through the course of his career here at Tennessee.
That is appalling as the high dribble by Goodson, and he turns it over.
Possession to
Just trying to use that little hesitation move, and Goodson is so quick. I think he's a better shooter than he has shown because he's not pulling the trigger as often as he should. He can get by people so easily, but when he hesitated, he just brought that ball to rest, and that is a no-no in the rule book.
Under 3 minutes now. Chisholm double team, forced one up there. Heitveld clears off the miss. Here comes Pargo, who's got only 1 assist and 5 turnovers tonight. He struggled.
A good switch by Tyler Smith off that ball screen. Switching is probably the way to go because they can guard multiple positions 1 through 4.
Here's Jeremy with a teardrop on the baseline. Whistle on the rebound. It's going to go.
Looks like they got Micah Downs.
Yeah.
Well, Cameron Tatum, and I watched him get 17 against Georgetown. He knocked down 5 of 6 threes. But he's done all that in the first half. And he's a player that's a hungry scorer. He's a good athlete that can run the floor. But he has been so confident and such a big boost in this first half. Scored the first 14 points for Tennessee. Without him, I think they would have been lost.
Matched his career high that he had against Chattanooga back in November.
Scotty Hobson has some arc on that shot, doesn't he? He can bring rain with that thing.
Might bring snow tonight to Knoxville. That's what they're predicting, but it really never snows here, does it? Tyler Smith, the scoop, trying to get his own miss, and Heitveld again with a defensive board. A little sloppy right now for Tennessee.
Just a poor decision. Good job by Chisholm not to go for that shot fake by Downs.
Bolden's wide open for a triple. Got it.
They used that screen very effectively. Just stepped behind the Heitveld screen at the top of the key. That was really solid by Matt Bolden. He is a good player.
The 15-point lead has been sliced to 6. Chisholm will try to get a couple back, and it rimmed out. And I think a push-off underneath on Tyler Smith.
After Chisholm did such a good job on Micah Downs, you can see Bolden. He's just going to step behind Heitveld, and Bobby Mays just got a little bit too low. Was watching the ball and got caught right on that screen.
And now they got a chance to walk it down. Shooting free throws will be Downs, a 76% free throw shooter, and they can make it a 4-point game here, where a couple of minutes ago that didn't seem possible. You and I looked at each other when it was 31-18 during the timeout, and we kind of said they'll make a run before halftime, and they are.
Well, a team like Gonzaga, they can just score. I mean, Mark Few is one of the best offensive coaches, and they're one of the best coaches in the country, period, but very good offensively, and he lets this team play with rhythm and flow, and he wants them to be confident, looking for their offense, looking for their shot.
1 or 2 for Micah Downs. And a minute and a half to go. First half in Knoxville.
This 2-3 zone has been very effective for Gonzaga because it's really forced Tennessee into a slower pace. All of a sudden they're standing more, and they need to flash into the middle of that zone and get a little more cutting, a little bit better action.
Tyler Smith got his man up. J.P. Prince on the drive. Got it.
What really led to that, Brad, was a ball screen up at the top.
J.P. Prince set that ball screen.
What a save by Chisholm, but it goes right back into Gonzaga, and they're going to score.
We give great credit to Chisholm for the hustle, but that save created a 5-on-4 opportunity in favor of Gonzaga. They wound up getting a layup out of it. You got to throw it toward your basket. That's easy to say when Chisholm's the one crashing out of bounds and I'm sitting comfortably on the sidelines. But that's what you have to do.
The 2 guys he took out are still laughing back here. Prince tries another one, and he's fouled.
Well, another seal on the middleman, this time by Wayne Chisholm. And Prince again had the easy path to the basket after beating the initial defender. You can see, watch the seal right there by Chisholm. That keeps Heitveld. Heitfeld's got to fight harder to get around that. It's one thing to be sealed, but you can't allow yourself to be sealed. That's not something that a coach can diagram for you and say, here are the steps you need to take to get around it. You just got to fight and get around it.
J.P. Prince at the free throw line, a little push shot, and again he's not getting any lift off those ankles. The ankle he hurt the day before the Temple game, as where the carpet meets the actual red flooring. He didn't notice that he was chasing a loose ball, and he hit that little drop off and turned his ankle rather badly, and missed 3 games because of it. He's got his first 2 free throws, 6 points and a half. 7-point lead. About a 3-second difference on the shot clock and the game clock here in the first half. If it's coming from the outside, Bolden or Gray would be the best choices right now for the guys on the floor for Gonzaga.
And Micah Downs as well, one of the better three-point shooters on this team. So everybody's got to stay home.
Heidfeld sets a pick for Bolden. He'll take the shot. In and out. Tennessee rebound. J.P. Prince. Not enough time to get a shot away. Well, the story has been Cameron Tatum, the 6'6" freshman out of Lithonia, Georgia. 4A Player of the Year in Georgia last year. Career high 19 all in the first half. And at the break, 40-33. Tennessee with a lead as we head to the Dick's Sporting Goods halftime report. Carl and Jimmy Joe standing by. You know, 6-0 run to start things off for Gonzaga, and all of a sudden 22,000 folks are going, whoa, what did we come out in this cold night for? And then Cameron Tatum showed them why.
You know, I'm not sure how well Tennessee played, but Cameron Tatum played really well.
Exactly.
You know, he went 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. The rest of the team was 7 of 24 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3. So it was the Cameron Tatum show in the first half, and Brady did it in a variety of ways, knocking down perimeter shots. He got to the rim once. He got a tip in. I mean, he was just all over the place and just did a really nice job of lifting his team up. Scored the first 14 points scored by the Volunteers in this game. And then everybody else got a little bit of confidence.
Right.
But if I were Tennessee right now, I wouldn't be overconfident. I wouldn't want to get a false sense of security because he scored a ton of points. And we're talking about a Gonzaga team that has missed 7 free throws. Jeremy Pargo has turned it over 5 times. I wouldn't expect them to play as poorly in the second half as they did in the first.
There you see the flames on Cameron Tatum. The rest of the team with 21. He's got 19. But Gonzaga was very streaky. They started off shooting 60%. They went in the tank and went 1 for 7, but they finished 8 for 15 and put a run on to get to the 7-point deficit. They were down at 15 points at one point. Well, I guess he's going to start exactly where he left off.
You know, how could you leave him open? You know, Gonzaga went to a 1-3-1 zone there with Jeremy Pargo on the baseline. And when the ball went to the right side of the floor, how can you leave Cameron Tatum that wide open after he torched you in the first? Didn't they see the graphic?
They didn't see the flames. There's a block shot underneath by Chisholm. The outlet to Tyler Smith on the flush.
Yeah, I think they need a timeout. I'd call a timeout if I were Mark Few.
He is. What a way to start the second half for the Volunteers. High flying, long shooting. Tatum first and then Tyler Smith.
To order ESPN Full Court, call your pay-per-view provider today.
Day 5 quick points and a quick timeout, and now full court pressure Gonzaga's going to face.
Well, Gonzaga really needed that timeout to get refocused on what they need to do in this second half to win on the road. Now, that was not a very good start for Gonzaga, especially on the defensive end, to leave Cameron Tatum that wide open against that 1-3-1.
Here's Day guarded by Smith. Bolden, who led the team in scoring in the first half, going to try inside and got a chance for a three-point play. Take you inside the play and show you what Jay Billis was talking about the opening of the second half.
Anytime you've got a hot player, you've got to have an awareness of where he is. When the ball gets here, this defense collapses and goes in that way. Here's Cameron Tatum, and nobody has an awareness for where he is. Stephen Gray right in the middle of the lane. Look how much space he has to cover in order to get a hand up. And he had no shot because that young man, as we have seen, is on fire.
Yes, he is.
Aaron pass inside. Picked off. Pargo brings it up and kicked out of bounds by Tyler Smith. It'll still be Gonzaga's ball.
Anytime Pargo's bringing the ball up, you have to be aware of what's coming behind you. Backflow defense to back tip it in transition. Tennessee awfully good at that.
Nice lead for Bolden from Pargo.
That was just a terrific cut. That's called the UCLA cut. And Bolden cut hard, and Anytime you've got a guy that's cutting, you have to take away the ball side of that cut. You can't let him cut across your face.
Here's J.P. Prince on a nice cut through the lane. Now it's up and down the court in a hurry. Bolden's going to try a triple. Got it. Bolden is the hot hand right now. He's got 20.
There's been a real back and forth between Tatum and Matt Bolden.
Tatum got his man in the air, and then those long arms of Day blocked it. And the long arms of Day snatched down the rebound.
Day and Smith have really taken each other out of this game.
Collision between Heitfeld and Chisholm. And foul is going to be on Heitfeld, his third.
Take a look at Bolden. He's going to cut right off of Austin Day. That's a UCLA cut. Cameron Tatum went behind the screen instead of jumping to the ball and taking the ball side of that cut away. And then in transition, setting his feet. We've seen Matt Bolden essentially do it all in this game. He's been posting up guards and scoring inside and taking them outside and knocking down perimeter shots.
Led the team in three-pointers a year ago with 46. His first one of the second half came moments ago to cut into the lead and makes it a 6-point game.
Now Stephen Gray in the 2-3 zone right on top of Cameron Tatum and matching up, staying with him.
Tatum got his man in the air again twice, and now that three-pointer won't go.
Well, Gray really stayed with that. He went for 2 shot fakes, but really did a good job of getting back for that third one.
He's either a quick jumper or he didn't leave his feet too badly on either one of those, because he still stayed right with him. You're right.
I was always seen as a very disciplined defender, but people didn't know it was because I couldn't jump.
You had the slow first jump, and then you backed it up with a slower second jump. Here's Gray. Got it.
Well, that young man can really play. If he ever gets a sense of aggressiveness where he's hungry to score every time down, he is going to be more than a handful for anybody.
And you said at halftime, I wouldn't be comfortable if I was Tennessee. The lead's been cut to 3. The foul on the drive by Chisholm is going to be on Foster.
Stephen Gray can do it all. Again, ball screen. Will Foster, the 7'5" player, setting a little ball screen, and Tennessee goes underneath it. You cannot go underneath a ball screen when Stephen Gray's got the ball in his hands. He is too good of a shooter.
Wayne Chisholm at the free throw line. 1 out of 2 tonight. And he rips that one. It's his 6th point. He had an elbow and a spine injury suffered against Louisiana on a rough fall getting back defensively. And was taken off on a stretcher, and everybody held their breath. I said to Wayne when he was warming up before the game, I said, you landed on a good spot in your head. That's why you're still okay. Bolden 3. Not this time. Mays the outlet to Prince. And he missed the reverse layup. He was in a little too deep.
It looked like he was trying to avoid a shot block. Just go in strong and dunk it.
Turnaround by Day is short. And the ball is going to be out of bounds to the Bulldogs.
Austin Day is really struggling and has been struggling over his last 3 games. He was 9 of his last 29 shots in his last 2 games coming in. And you know, this is a player, Brad, that people have been talking about. Boy, he's a top 10 pick at the end of the year. And I think he's a play. He reminds me a lot of Tayshaun Prince with the build he's got, his ability level. He has got a ton of ability, but he is a long way away from being ready for the next level. And he's got a lot to learn.
His dad, Darren, a good player great player at UCLA. Here he is for 3, and he rattled it home as he overheard when the crowd was hushed what Jay Billis had to say, and he cuts it to 2.
Well, there you can see the talent level he's got. I mean, that young man can play. I mean, what has he got in the game? 5, 6 points?
He's got 6 right now.
I mean, he's too good to be held down to 6 points to this level. I mean, he's got to be more aggressive and work to score.
Tatum drives, rejected in there by Foster. Nice block by the big guy. Chance to tie the game or take the lead. This one's for the lead. Got it. Stephen Gray shocking Thompson-Boling Arena. And Gonzaga back in front by 1.
Well, Cameron Tatum went for that first shot fake and took himself totally out of the play, and Tennessee was in scramble mode.
And Matt Bolden was the one that put up that shot fake, and it was very, very effective in transition.
That's the first lead since early in the first half.
Off the ball screen, just passing it to Austin Day, who was wide open. And there you see Cameron Tatum just flying by. Now everybody's got to scramble, and Stephen Gray wide open, able to step into that shot. And the bench of Gonzaga realizing momentum is on their side.
A complete shift. Remember, Gonzaga jumped out 6-0 lead. Before you knew it, it was 8-6 Tennessee, and they had never trailed again until right now. In the first meeting, second half was big. Gonzaga shot 52% from the floor to only 39% for Tennessee. So now we got a ball game.
Well, Gonzaga in that first meeting shot 11 of 20 against Tennessee from 3. And this is a team that can really spread you out. And Tennessee, a team that is not spreading out as much as they did last year.
Remember, they're a hard team to beat at home. As you look at that 37-game home winning streak. Another one for you. Bruce Pearl is 28-0 against non-conference competition in here. So Tennessee's not used to losing, especially to teams not from the SEC and not on their home floor. And now they find themselves down by 1 with 15-21 left to go. It's Tatum, Tyler Smith, Josh Tabb, Woolridge, and Brian Williams on the floor for Tennessee. Woolridge will try a 3, and he's been short both times he's taken it from the same spot tonight. Rebound Gonzaga.
Nobody from Tennessee got on the floor after that loose ball. A 7-5 guy did.
Here's Day with a hook. Off the glass. Got it.
Now that's the kind of aggressiveness Austin Day needs to show. He ran right to the rim and sealed off his defender and looked for that score. Now that was the play of a big-time player.
There's a kind of hush in Knoxville because Gonzaga now is up by 3.
Fight him for that low position. Brian Williams should have put Austin Day into the 5th row.
Instead, he fouled him, and a chance for a 3-point play. Continuation for Day from that timeout. Rattled out the free throw. So it's still a 3-point game. We're under 15 minutes.
2-3 zone, and Brian Williams trying to screen up top against it.
And Tabb tripped by either Day or Gray, I believe. They're going to call it on Stephen Gray. It'll be his second foul. Don't forget, coming up, doubleheader on Saturday noon. Villanova and Louisville get together. A couple of top 25s, and then Duke and Florida State and Tallahassee at 2. It's presented by 5 Hour Energy on ESPN. Chisholm, everybody getting a tip in there. Somebody's got his hands in the rim. It's going to be goaltending, I think, on Foster.
Now let me guess. It's the 7-5 guy that got his hand in the rim.
I kind of think it was.
I deduced it.
That was that math you were talking about earlier again. See, you can't do that. Who are they going to give credit to? I guess they're going to give it to Chisholm.
Well, Chisholm right now is waving his arms trying to get this crowd, which has been very quiet throughout the game, back into this game.
Came to life for Chisholm. And they're trying to stay that way, especially the student body. Gray will try to quiet him. Nobody goes after the rebound. Tennessee had sealed off the only guy that could have gotten it for the Bulldogs. So the Volunteers, this trip, can regain the lead. With Jay Billis, I'm Brad Nessler. Sold out house, 22,326. Have been kind of quiet. At times they've had reason to cheer, especially when Tennessee had a big lead in the first half. 7-point lead at halftime, but now Gonzaga has come flying back. Can Tennessee find their groove again? That's not the shot they're looking for.
Pretty good fake, though. He's wide open. I think what they need to do is get the ball into the middle of that lane where it says SEC and engage Will Foster and then kick it to somebody open or kick it along the baseline.
Here's Williams on a double team and left Foster open on the low block. And the big guy goes baseline, just a drop step around Williams and easily scores.
Boy, a great move and terrible defense.
Brian Williams is just standing straight up and down. You could see he didn't have any respect for Foster and his ability to make that move, and that was a pretty move by Will Foster.
Yes, it was. 3-point lead.
Wide open in the middle of that zone.
Here's Williams. He's going to try the same move. He's double teamed. It comes out on top to Tabb. Missed the three. Strong rebound, though, by Chisholm.
It was all set up by getting the ball into the middle. The zone collapse, got the shot, and then the offensive board.
Day for three. Yes. Woo.
Tennessee, not only to win this game, Brad, but to be the best team they can be this year, they've got to start guarding people. I mean, that is way too open in transition. And that's one of the best players on this team, Austin Day, a guy that you don't want to get hot. You've been holding down.
Hobson, again, normally a starter, playing with a case of the flu tonight. Williams rejected. Gold ending again on Foster.
Take a look at Will Foster inside when he catches this ball. Williams just playing straight up on him, got to the high side. He just spun off him with a little drop step, and that was just poor defense, but a really nice move. Anytime you get on the high side, you're just going to go low. That was a really effective move by Will Foster.
I think this time Bruce Pearl might have asked the crowd for a little love. Lob underneath. Foster lost the handle. Turnover. Gonzaga. Back comes Mays. Chisholm on the trailer for three. He does that a lot. He missed the shot that would have given Tennessee the lead back.
Tennessee's got to make a stand at some point on the defensive end.
Oh, big shot. It's been all Austin Day this second half for Gonzaga.
He's got his confidence now. They let him get going. And he is a very skilled player that can shoot it. He can put it on the deck. But he has not played as well as he's capable of playing over the last 4 or 5 games. Coming into this game, Austin Day only had 10 offensive rebounds on the entire season. Wow.
And an offensive foul on Woolridge.
Well, Colvin did a nice job of coming over from the weak side. It looked like he hurt himself when he went down.
Well, Austin Day's been huge in the second half. 10 in this half, and he's got his team in front by 4. This guy's written his own chapter here early in the second half. 10 points in the opening 8.5 minutes for Austin Day, and he's got his team out in front. As Gonzaga was down 7 at the half, now they lead, and their second half shooting has been a blistering 67%. But unless Tennessee finds somebody to play defense, it might go up instead of down.
Ball screen slipped, and then the second screen by Day is really being held right now by Woolridge. Excuse me, by Hobson.
Pago gets it over to Bolden. Day asking for it against Tyler Smith's got to give it up. 6 on the shot clock. Pago fade away from 18, and he got it. Wow.
I thought the play was to get it back into Austin Day, who did a nice job of kicking it out and reposting, but Jeremy Pargo with a tough shot.
Now Tennessee's got to find some offense as they're down 6, almost midway through the second half. Chisholm trying to wheel on Heitveld. Up and under with the left hand. Tip is missed. Prince will try again and got it.
Prince has more offensive rebounds than defensive on the season. Long armed, and he goes after it.
Heitveld stripped of the ball, but fouled by Chisholm.
What a nice up fake by Heitveld. You just have to stay solid, make them shoot over. One thing when you're a shot blocker, once you block a couple of shots, you want more, and you've got to wait for the offensive player to leave the floor before you as a defensive player can leave it.
Wayne Chisholm had 6 block shots, tying a school record in the loss to Kansas the other day. I said to him before the game, 6 block shots, huh, Wayne? He looked at me and said, really, it was 7. I only got credit for 6. Those Heitveld's numbers. All with 7 rebounds.
Yeah, all 7 of those rebounds were grabbed in the first half. Hadn't gotten one yet in the second half.
Chisholm's got another rebound off the missed free throw.
Well, Gonzaga has missed a ton of free throws in this
Have they
game.
ever? 5 out of 12 in the first half. 7 out of 16 for the game.
2-3 zone has really taken Tennessee out of any offensive rhythm.
This is where they're thinking, Chris Lofton, where are you? Tyler Smith strong in the paint, didn't get the shot to go. Chisholm keeps it alive, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Friday night, ESPN Hoops NBA doubleheader starts with the world champion Celtics taking on LeBron and the Cavaliers, and then Dirk Nowitzki to take on the Phoenix Suns. NBA Friday on ESPN and ESPN360.com. Micah Downs picked up the foul, and Wade Chisholm to the free throw line. And Chisholm rips that one. Tell you what, there's a guy Tennessee could use to play defense. Dane Bradshaw, Tennessee guard, Mr. Hustle, played in Holland last year, now out of basketball and into the real world. One of the great hustle players, Mr. Floorburn, we used to call him.
And he was a big part of the resurgence of this program under Bruce Pearl.
Chisholm's got a double-double. His free throws have cut the lead to 3. Day is feeling it. He wants the ball every trip. There's a bump down there. Running around the screen, Tyler Smith picks up the foul.
Tyler Smith just had that arm bar in the back of Austin Day, and once he gets the ball, you got to take that off.
So fresh shot clock here. Fargo hit the last shot. He'll bring it way out on top. Bulldogs get it inside to Heitfeld.
They're just killing him on ball screens, Brad. They had to switch it. That left Bobby Mays inside on Heitfeld, and they took advantage of it.
On the other end, Prince missed. Smith didn't. Under 9 minutes.
Sometimes the best offense for Tennessee is a missed shot. They're such a good offensive rebounding team.
Gray weaving through traffic, got it stripped out.
Tennessee is flying all over the place on fakes. You lift your eyebrow and they're off their feet. Little ball screen, the switch out, and Bobby Mays is stuck. And Tyler Smith just a little bit too late in getting there. Anytime that Gonzaga sets a ball screen, they are getting some good things out of it. They got to keep doing it.
Fargo looking at Heitfeld there. And it knocked away by Prince. Day. Big height advantage there. The shot didn't go. Chisholm's got another rebound.
Day's got to get to the rim there. He had a point guard guarding him.
Mays lobs and tipped it in himself after the missed shot. His first basket is a big one. 64-63. Mark Few wants to talk about it. 22,000 want to scream about it. I think they're trying to determine where the ball is to be inbounded.
Well, they're messing with substitutes right now, trying to make sure that everybody is substituted properly after the timeout.
Looks like everybody's happy.
Well, Gonzaga going big right now with Foster and Heitfeld playing at the same time.
Bruce Pearl is going crazy over there in front of the scorer's table.
They're trying to figure out the substitution thing. And the referees look a little bit confused over it. Gray's going to have to stay in. I think Bolden is going to have to wait to come in.
He did not report, I think is what the call was. Ken Diddy, Mike Eggers, and Rick Batzel are officials. And now Bolden will take a knee. And Gray will inbound. Into Pargo. Foul inside is on J.P. Prince, his third.
And Tennessee had a good possession defensively and just lost a little discipline at the end with that foul. Well, Downs is open.
Oh my goodness, was he ever?
Well, that's where the pressure on the ball really takes away vision, and if you can take away vision, they can't complete the pass.
Bolden on a drive.
It's amazing how Gonzaga has been able to get to the rim, and it's not like they're doing it with incredible speed. I mean, Bolden took 3 or 4 dribbles to get there, and nobody stepped in front.
Chisholm puts it on the deck. Maybe he shouldn't have. Prince, and now Chisholm follows. They call that the Chisholm Trail.
Well, Gonzaga's first shot defense has been pretty good, but they're allowing too many second ones. You got to lay a body on somebody, and all 5 guys have to rebound because Tennessee's sending 4.
Dane Chisholm's got 15 points. He's keeping it together for Tennessee on the inside. We approach 7 minutes. 66-65. Bolden for 3. Rebound. Smith.
But Bobby Mays really did a good job on Heitfeld there.
Tyler Smith takes it all away, and it drops.
This team is just scrapping. They are just scrapping.
Mr. Versatility taking it in against the tall timber, and it goes. Tennessee leads.
A renegade agent on a mission to stop lifeless economy cars from unleashing a devastating wave of boredom.
67-61 on a 12-5 run in the last 4 minutes.
And Tennessee has done it through hustle stats, offensive rebounds, getting out in transition. But Matt Bolden has been terrific all game long. 12 points in the first half. He's posting up guards, cutting hard to the basket and getting to the rim. He has done it off drives, off open jumpers. Good passer, really good feel for the game. And he's a heck of a lot stronger than he looks. And Cameron Tatum, we talked about him being the hot player, and he certainly was in the first half with 19 points. But Matt Bolden over the course of this game has been just as hot.
Tatum with a career high. Bolden with a season high.
It's quite a mop he's got working
Got a little
there.
bit of that Anna Morrison thing going on. He needs to grow some of that little hair on the lip thing and go with it. Remember the fear of the stash thing?
I do.
I don't think anybody's fearing him in the NBA.
No,
right
he's
now,
not. It's not. He's suffering from a little defense and rebounding issue himself.
We're not ripping you, Adam.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Just a little.
Just a little.
But we love you.
Tyler Smith doesn't cap the three-point play.
Good rebound by Austin Day. He's got the ability to be a much better rebounder than he has shown thus far. Pargo looking to go with the high screen by Heitfeld.
Pargo's been quiet tonight offensively. Bobby Mays has made it tough on him all night. Here's Day, baseline hit the side of the backboard. Rebound is Tyler Smith's. The foul is Austin Day's.
See, Day needs to shake it off. You know, he made a mistake. It's not a big deal. You know, look at the look on his face. I mean, he's so worried about it. Shake it off, move on to the next play. He is too good of a player to let one play worry. He's had a terrific second half. This is the way that he wants to play. Took a tough shot, you know, hit the side of the backboard because Tyler Smith did a good job defensively on him. He fouled him, he shouldn't have. So let it go and move on.
Cameron Tatum has only 1 field goal for Tennessee in this half. That was the opening three-pointer just seconds into the second half. Tyler Smith dribbled into trouble, had it stolen away by Pargo. Behind the back, up and in. What a move that was.
And a move made out of necessity. Cameron Tatum went to steal that ball. He put it from his right hand behind his back and completed the play, all without losing a step. That was a great move by Jeremy Pargo.
Tyler Smith's going to try it again. Dribbled himself into trouble again. Last touch by Tennessee.
Pargo here in transition. Tatum goes for the ball, and now you see it, now you don't. What a move by Jeremy Pargo.
Might make Sports Center. Pargo 6 points, 5 assists. He had 5 turnovers and only 1 assist at halftime, so he's played much better in the second half, and he's got his team the lead now by 1. Ball loose. J.P. Prince trying to flag it down and goes in and is fouled, and that's 4 on Austin Day.
Boy, much stronger taking it to the basket for J.P. Prince. Remember, he had one of those not long ago in this second half and took it to the other side of the basket trying to avoid a shot block. Here he went in and made Gonzaga foul him.
The foul was called on Bolden, not on Day, so that's good news for Gonzaga because that's only the first on him and not 4 on Day. Everybody's leaving things at the free throw line tonight.
And Prince, not a great free throw shooter, shoots about 65%.
Last year 56%, so he's actually improved. Little push shot, got the second one. 11 for Prince. And we are tied.
Well, you don't want to catch it there, Brad. Full court pressure, and Gonzaga fortunate to get it out.
Now you got to hustle back at the 3-on-1. Wayne Chisholm took the charge by Stephen Gray.
Chisholm took the charge, laid his body on the line, and Cameron Tatum up top made sure that ball didn't get there at all. Nice job by Tatum, and by Chisholm, and a good job by Tatum not to foul, because that would have been a disaster for Tennessee if Chisholm lays his body on the line, takes that charge, and it's negated by a foul first.
Tie ball game as Chisholm goes up. Rebound handled by Day.
Chisholm has taken 3 or 4 jump hooks, hasn't knocked any of them down.
We played this much basketball and haven't been tied until now. Chisholm's got another rebound. And Tyler Smith looking out to Tatum. Tatum thought about it. Now gets it to Tyler Smith. And it's going to be a pushing foul on Tyler Smith.
Well, this is a man's game underneath, isn't it?
Yep.
Chisholm went after that ball with both hands for the defensive rebound, when Tyler Smith just wasn't able to get it to go.
Bruce Pearl ignited by that call.
What do you think his dry cleaning bill is? You know, they say Gary Williams sweats.
Yeah.
I think Bruce Pearl lays a little sweat out there himself.
I'd say so. Even those suspenders have to be cleaned every week a couple of times.
But you notice he never goes with the blue shirt. It's always the white shirt, which is a very smart move by a perspiring coach.
Gonzaga 7 out of 17 from the free throw line. That's killing them right now, or they'd have maybe not a comfortable lead, but they wouldn't be tied, that's for sure. Prince. Oh, I don't know about that shot.
That wasn't a shot. Off of one pass, contested without rebounding.
Gray for 3. Bolden keeps it alive. And he walked with it.
Oh, it looked like he got hit by Tyler Smith, but there are bodies flying all over right now. And a premium on being strong with the ball.
All the things we didn't see in the first half from the hustle standpoint, we're seeing in the second half.
And when you get control of that ball, you got to catch it, chin it, and face the defense and make a play.
Bobby Mays with a teardrop. It didn't go. Chisholm with a rebound. Still no good. And Dale cleared off. Under 4 minutes, 68 apiece.
Gonzaga's got to make Tennessee guard here. And the ball screen's been effective.
Switch off as Smith takes Pargo.
Oh, he's wide open.
And that leaves Day on Mays. Big height advantage on the baseline. Rebound Chisholm.
Well, you don't want to turn around jumper fading away against a smaller man. That's where he's got to back him down and get in there and get to the rim.
Tennessee wisely waits for help. It was about a 2-on-5. And now Mays will set things up.
For the 2-3 zone again.
Mays the kick out. Tatum working against Day. In the lane with a scoop shot. Still won't go. Out of bounds to Tennessee. 2:57. Everybody scrambling. Tatum with a big first half. Day a big second half. Couple of fired up coaches. Bodies flying all over the place with just less than 3 minutes to go. Reese, we'll see you in about 3 minutes, barring overtime from Knoxville. We are tied for the first time in the game at 68. Tennessee, 37-game home winning streak since the beginning of the 05-06 season, basically 3 years ago. They are 50-2 in Thompson Bowling Arena.
Well, just amazing. And if they're going to make it a 38-game streak, they're just going to have to outfight Gonzaga down the stretch. This hasn't been a pretty effort for Tennessee, but it has been a hard-fought 68-68 tie.
Remember, they're trying to get a little bit of payback from that game just 38 days ago in the Old Spice Classic when Gonzaga won it back on November 30th.
You know, both teams just trying to get their mojo back right now.
Tatum, the three rimmed out. Heitvelt and Day, loose ball, everybody scrambling. Gonzaga basketball.
Boy, what terrific hustle.
Had to get up to see that it was Cameron Tatum who almost flew into our broadcast table right there, trying to save it.
Laying it on the line, just happened to touch the line. Boy, what great hustle by both teams getting on the floor. Nobody was bending over on the at the waist on that possession.
For sure. Prince on Bolden. Bolden with 22 points. Leads the Bulldogs in scoring. 15 on the shot clock, 2:14 to play. Bolden squares up, fires in the jumper.
And that was a contested jump shot.
You know, Gonzaga's got to set screens when they're on the offensive end. They were just running past people on that. If they set screens, they're going to get good shots, and this is a good shooting team.
Chisholm been big in this second half, leaves it for Tyler Smith, and it goes.
How did that ball curl in there? It looked like it was coming out. Well, that was just strength and will and a terrific pass. Chisholm just bowling his way into the lane, and when Austin Day came over to help, he found the cutting Tyler Smith, who went right into the body of Austin Day. Really solid.
It's one of those pool shots where you go, something's got to be your friend there.
A little bit of English.
Yeah, a little bit of English. The rail was his friend. 3-point play. Tennessee by one. Crowd up. 1:43 to go.
Nice slip of that screen.
Beautiful cut by Heitvelt.
Heitvelt was setting the screen. Stephen Gray coming off it. Everybody worried about Gray. They left Heitvelt wide open.
Now it's almost starting to get the look of one of those, whoever's got it last might win.
Sticking with the 2-3 zone.
Tyler Smith in traffic will dribble out of it. Bobby Mays, long three. Nope, not even close. And Heitvelt, they're saying, thrown down by Prince on the foul.
Watch Heitvelt here. Setting a little down screen. Here's the down screen. Prince runs past him, and he just slips to the basket. Not enough pressure on the ball. And Wayne Chisholm not doing a good job of keeping control of his man.
As Reese told you a minute ago, SportsCenter follows us, followed by college basketball final. Minute 8 remaining. At the free throw line, a guy that's a 75% free throw shooter, but is only 1 out of 4 tonight. And Josh Heitvelt, senior out of Clarkston, Washington. And he just silenced the crowd with that one. 3 games they played in the last 13 months. Pretty even, huh? He missed the second. Rebound. Pargo had it and kept it.
Now it's time to run some clock. You want to probe and see if you can get something easy, but got to run it down to about 12 and then get into a set.
Gray guarded by Prince. 15 on the shot clock. 47 to play in the game. Trouble in there on the dribble. Mays almost had it. Bolden off the glass. Too strong. Whose ball? Tennessee. Wait a minute. The officials are going to change it. One's going to overrule the other. The official on the baseline said Tennessee. And the other went to Gonzaga.
Ball did hit the rim. And it looked like it was knocked out by Chisholm with that left hand.
Timeout taken by the Bulldogs. Mark Few's team trying to pull an upset on the road and trying to beat Tennessee for the second time in the last month. Need to stop a turnover, or they need to send Gonzaga to the free throw line in hopes of giving this offense a chance to score. 38 seconds left.
And remember, Tennessee very good on inbounds plays defensively.
And in the last 84 games, that's the 319th turnover forced on an inbounds play, and you just called it.
They do a great job of keeping a big guy on the ball and really pressuring it. And a lot of times other teams will panic and throw a bad pass. Now the middle of this zone, if Gonzaga stays in it, is where you've got to attack.
Don't forget, Sports Center is next. Have all the scores and highlights, all the football news with the BCS National Championship at hand tomorrow night between Oklahoma and Florida. A lot of NFL news today. Coaches hirings, coaches firings, it's all coming up. But now we've got a half minute of basketball left here, at least.
It's like Gonzaga going man to man now.
Tyler Smith in the lane. Scoop shot. Oh. How did that go in? 73-73. Final 20 seconds of regulation.
And Gonzaga going to go without a timeout. They don't want to let Tennessee set up anything defensively and regroup. Going to hold it for the last shot.
Under 10. Bolden guarded by Prince. Gets a screen. Bolden in traffic. Didn't get it. Chisholm did. The outlet. Tyler Smith at the buzzer. We're going to overtime. We're not done. Sports Center's got to wait. 73-73.
Mark Few saying that there was some goaltending on that last play. What a move by Tyler Smith. The strength when he had Pargo on him to just scoop that up. It looked like Rick Barry shooting a free throw when he's pulling his way in there. And
yeah,
Mark Few is incensed. He thought that Bolden's shot was touched when it was coming down. You can see off the little ball screen. Well, the basket was touched. Mark Few is right that Tyler Smith touched the net when that ball was up there. Watch this. He went through the basket. Now that should be an automatic goaltend call, but the referee's just, he was absolutely right.
We've got more time left in Knoxville. Smokey loves it. 73-73, end of regulation. As the outlet pass on the rebound from Chisholm. And now we go to overtime, 73-73.
Brad, I just asked one of the officials for an interpretation on the rule that it is not goaltending to touch the net unless the ball is over the cylinder. That was this referee's interpretation. I've not heard it quite that way before.
Here it is again.
See Bolden, he says that ball was over the cylinder when that net was touched. Now whether it had a chance to go in or not is beside the point. That was over the cylinder. That's a listen, it's a bang bang call. But I was not aware of that particular interpretation of that rule, that the ball had to be over the cylinder when the net was grabbed.
So here we go. We're not done. And first possession is going to go to the Bulldogs.
The winning team is the team that is going to show the most poise in this situation. And Gonzaga's had great success with some ball screens. I think they need to keep going to that.
Here's Day driving on Smith. And Tyler Smith picks up the foul.
That's a good
That's
call.
4 on him.
Good call. He didn't have the angle, and he had his hands all over Day.
Jay Day's got 4. And Smith has 4. 2 vital cogs in both teams. And they're playing with foul trouble here in overtime. Austin Day with 14 now.
Austin Day, a 73% free throw shooter. Last year shot 88%. In fact, all of his percentages this year are down. But he has got a world of ability. And as he learns to dominate games, I think he's going to be a great player in college.
So the early 2-point advantage goes to Gonzaga, and he gets a breather. Day sits with 15.
1-2-2 pressure here, trying to slow the advance.
Chisholm leaves it for Prince. Tipped. Boy, how many has Tennessee missed in close? Especially Prince.
Prince had to change that shot. It didn't get blocked, but it certainly got changed by the presence of Heitfeld and Foster.
Fargo looking for a screen from Foster, and now Gray, the backdoor cut to Bolden, and that is going to be goaltending.
Gonzaga just out executing Tennessee right now. The backdoor cut, J.P. Prince totally losing vision and losing his man, just turning his back on him.
And now 4-point advantage for Gonzaga. Tyler Smith's going to try 3. Chisholm with a rebound. Trying to get a timeout and did.
Wait. What's impressive to me about Chisholm, not only how he pursues the ball, but he pursues it with both hands.
In overtime, a minute and a half into the extra session, Gonzaga up by 4. The reason it even got to this point was Tyler Smith with this shot to tie it at 73. And then Bolden, Tyler Smith with his hand in the net, and goaltending was not called. And that's the way regulation ended.
Tell you what, by any according to the interpretation that the official gave me, that ball was over the cylinder. Although I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night, I think I'm one. You can't, there's no way, Brad. You cannot reach through the rim like that. That is goaltending. And, whether the official I spoke to has it right or that's goaltending, period. You just can't, I mean, in all the years I've played, that's always called as goaltending. But you know what? They didn't call it.
So it doesn't
overtime.
matter. Yeah.
It really doesn't matter.
Tyler Smith will inbound to Prince. Tatum thought about a 3. Oh, a hook pass. Who touched it last? Off Stephen Gray's hands.
And Stephen Gray did a nice job of making Tatum put the ball on the deck and turning him into a 2-point shooter instead of a 3-point shooter.
Don't forget, Sports Center is next. We don't quite know at this point when that will be. Brad Nessler and Jay Billis were in overtime in Knoxville. 25th ranked Tennessee with a 37-game home winning streak on the line. Trying to win their 10th game of the year and trying to get a little payback on Gonzaga. Tatum up and down. He traveled. He's had to work that since the first half. Gray made a run at him, and this time he couldn't keep his feet planted.
Remember, we talked earlier about an awareness for Cameron Tatum, and Stephen Gray on the last few possessions has been right there with him. Didn't lose track of him, always kept below him, and didn't overhelp when the ball was on the other side of the floor.
3 minutes now left in overtime.
Here comes the high ball screen again.
Day got the 3.
He has had a spectacular second half.
Has he ever. 18 points for the game. And now Tennessee's in some trouble. Tyler Smith hangs in the air and scores.
Still a lot of time in this game if Tennessee can get a stop. But they have really got to go after Gonzaga. They just can't hang back.
Bolden. Chisholm switches off on him, and Heitfeld was wide open. They didn't get it to him.
The high screen and roll is killing Tennessee right now.
Heitfeld jumper on the outside, and it goes. He's been quiet. Until that shot, he's got 15.
Yeah, Gonzaga's got so many skilled offensive players. You can't just key on one or two guys. You know, they can really spread you out. And if Heitfeld isn't open on the roll, they've got a shooter that's spotting up that's open.
His first.
Jeremy Pargo picks up the foul almost unbelievably. Only his first, and we're in overtime. Bobby Mays averages about 10 points a game. He has only 2 tonight.
You got to give Gonzaga a lot of credit. They are a team that is, we've talked about, very skilled, but with Robert Sacre out right now with that injured foot, Mark Few was saying, you know, we're awfully slim-waisted. He says we got a lot of 30-inch waists out on the floor. They are a smaller team, but they have fought.
Gonzaga hasn't missed from the floor in overtime. They're having trouble on the inbound. 5-second call. Again on an inbound play, Tennessee forces a turnover.
And Matt Bolden has got to have a clock in his head. He cannot allow it to get to 4 before he calls that timeout.
Tyler Smith, big spin in the lane. Shot won't go, tipped. Mays tracks it down in the corner. Prince sets and airmails it to the backside. Out of bounds, Gonzaga.
That was a good shot and an open shot, but just not a real good perimeter shooter.
J.P. Prince has only 1 3-pointer this year. And that's his 13th or 14th attempt.
It's amazing, Brad. He didn't get any lift at all out of that. He didn't even jump.
And Mays trying to overplay, maybe come up with a steal, picks up the foul instead.
It's a 3-possession game.
Gray is 71% free throw shooter, 83% last year, but 0 for 2 tonight. And he drains that one. All his scoring has come from 3-point land until that free throw from 15. 6-point game. This could make it 3-possession situation. Ripped them both.
Now, if Gonzaga is able to end a 37-game winning streak of a defending SEC champion, does that automatically mean Mojo is back?
I think it's sure going to help him. Mays rimmed out at 3. Heitfeld's got the rebound. And time running out, and we got, I think it's Tyler Smith that's down on the floor and clutching, hopefully not a knee, but that's what it looks like he's holding on to. Again, it's going to happen down in the left corner of your screen. Bolden unintentionally just losing his balance trying to box out for the rebound and came down. This will be another look.
Well, it just looked hyperextended there.
And now he's walking off okay.
That's a good.
We'll be back here for Super Tuesday next week. And you hope number 1 is ready to play. Gonzaga leads by 7. 127 remaining in overtime. Nice show of sportsmanship by Jeremy Pargo to come over. Sports Center, by the way, is not next because we've gone so long, but college basketball final will be, is what we understand from back in the studios. Here's Heitfeld's going to bring it up himself. He wants to get it out of his hands and into somebody like Bolden's.
Got a foul.
Time is of the essence, and there is the foul by Cameron Tatum.
Austin Day has really had a terrific second half. Posting up on the rim run against Brian Williams. Taking a bigger man outside and drilling a jumper. Everything in rhythm. Coming off a ball screen. The young man Gonzaga team. And if not the best performance of the season, at least in a half for Austin Day, it's got to rank right up there. He has been very, very good in the second half.
You're not going to believe this. Tyler Smith is thinking about coming back out. And he will. Gray hits the free throw.
We talked about him being a tough kid. I mean, nobody's tougher than a serious injury, but you know, if there's only pain involved, you know that he's going to be out there.
Gray rips 4 free throws in a row, and Gonzaga, after being very poor from the free throw line, has hit all 6 in overtime.
Got to start thinking threes here.
Chisholm rattles out a 3, and the guy that just came back in, Tyler Smith, tips it in. Minute to play in overtime. And a foul on Mays. And that one Gray missed.
And make or miss, Tennessee's got to get the ball down court quickly. If they can get to the rim, fine. I tend to think if you can attack the rim, oftentimes instinctively the defense will go with you, and you might be able to kick it out for an open shooter stepping into a shot.
That is the first shot either from the field or the free throw line Gonzaga's missed. Mays reverse layup won't go. Day snatches out the rebound and he's fouled. And that's a free throw shooting contest, and Gonzaga's winning that right now.
And Bruce Pearl calling for a goaltend on that block by Josh Heitfeld. And this is Bruce Pearl is looking at a team that's got some very good talent, bunch of really good athletes and some very good players, and one great player in Tyler Smith, but it's a team that is inexperienced together. A lot of new roles, and they are still trying to figure out who they are.
You know, everybody talks about they don't have Chris Lofton. Well, they don't have the other Smiths either. Ramar Smith, Jawan Smith, they were tough defensive guys. They were kind of glue players. They don't have them either.
And that's a great point. That is a big deal for this team. And it's going to be a process for Tennessee. I still think by the end of the year, they're going to be the best team in this league.
Woolridge, air ball again. Tatum, who was so hot in the first half, and now Woolridge from a mile away. And Heitfeld the rebound. And Tennessee knows the fate right now. May or may not foul. They look at Bruce Pearl and he shakes his head no, as if to say, okay guys, we'll regroup, get ready for the SEC, but we're going to lose to the West Coast Conference. And the Gonzaga Bulldogs for the second time in 38 days. Heck of a game though.
And a hard-fought win for Gonzaga. They've got to be very proud of, after having lost 4 of their last 5, of responding this way in a tough environment on the road.
So a 10-point ball game in overtime, as it was all Gonzaga in the extra stanza. And as a crowd of 22,326 files out. Tough day for the Volunteers. Last shot, much like many in the second half, doesn't go. Final score, Gonzaga 89, Tennessee 79 in overtime. First home loss in 38 games, breaking the second longest streak in the NCAA right now. Don't forget college basketball finals coming up. For more on this game, you can join us shortly on ESPN News for a post-game extra. For Jay Billis and our entire ESPN2 crew, Brad Nessler saying so long. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. So long from Knoxville. Gonzaga, a 10-point win in OT over the Volunteers.
Gonzaga zone more effective in the second half.
73-71 late. Tyler Smith, oh, he goes all A.J. Price on Gonzaga. Pushed this thing into overtime when Matt Bolden didn't get a goaltending call, Jimmy.
No, that's a missed call. I talked to an official on my cell phone about 10 minutes ago, explained to him the situation. He said that should have been a goaltending call. Mark Few is right to be all over the officials.
When the ball's over the rim, Steven, he has his hand in the net.
Well, Jimmy Dykes has a direct connection to Mendy Rudolph, who's up above smiling down. Rest in peace, Rudy. Mendy Rudolph.
Bolden tried to win it. Smith got up there, and we go to overtime. Zags up 77-73. C the 3, B the 3. Austin Day. Gonzaga does it to Tennessee again. Did Tennessee learn nothing from the first meeting? They let the Zags shoot 52% the first time. They let them shoot 52% again.
And they don't learn nothing from their loss to Kansas. This is the Tennessee team tonight. On-ball screening defense, recovering to shooters, staying down in a stance, things that should be amplified from day one, they did not do.
So Mark Few snaps his team out of a little bit of a mid-season funk, getting the victory in Knoxville. He's standing by with Jay Billis.
You know, one of the things in the second half I thought was really important was the play of Austin Day. You know, he's a sophomore, still trying to figure out how to be a great player game in, game out. And after a tough first half, in the second half, I thought he came out. He didn't dominate, but he played extraordinarily well.
No, he was more aggressive, and as you and I talked about earlier, he wasn't playing the victim. You know, he made plays, and we talked about getting into attack mode. We're a great offensive team, and we're attacking and we're making positive plays. And I think our guys made positive plays and played with a lot of confidence. I mean, in that whole second half. I mean, even after we got down early.
Well, congratulations on having the mojo back and a great win.
Yeah, thanks.
What you couldn't hear was Fusion and said, "What's mojo?" Whatever it was, they found it in the previous 5 games. This is a stretch after Gonzaga started 7-0, moved to number 4 in the country. And then they lost Arizona and things got a little rough. Only victory in S-Band over Texas Southern, whose RPI is 287. But now against Tennessee on Wednesday night, Gonzaga once again looked like the team that some have predicted has the capability of perhaps making it all the way to the Final Four once the NCAA tournament comes around. So what was the big difference in the Zags that we saw tonight and the ones that we'd seen in the last few games?
Well, I think we saw Gonzaga fellas play with a hard edge. Mark Few and his staff did a nice job preparing their team. They understood the consequences of this game. It's one thing to try and remedy a tough stretch in the season and get out of a funk with a big-time home game up in Spokane, but to go on the road to Tennessee, they banded together. I thought their zone defense was effective, in particular in the second half, mixing their defenses, but they understood if they're going to have any chance of getting a halfway decent seed in the NCAA tournament, they needed this win tonight. Most importantly, they would have lost 5 of 6 games. So that alone, to snap out and to do it against a team like Tennessee on the road, big time W. And there's certain crossroads or intersection games in a season you look back on.
Yep.
This was an intersection crossroads win for Mark Few and his program.
I think it's a great point because I think Gonzaga came in losing 3 straight ball games, and you know who beat them all 3 times? UConn, then UConn, then UConn, because they lost their swagger when A.J. Price hit that 3 in their grill and sent it in overtime. They have not been the same team since, so they had a chance to regain their swagger tonight in Knoxville against Tennessee, and they did it. What concerns me still about Tennessee is defensively, this is a club that does not have an identity, something that Bruce Pearl has hung his hat on for years, and he's got to get his kids playing defense before next week when the SEC play begins.
It's just too easy.
It's way too easy.
I mean, and it's not a new thing. I mean, they gave up so many easy shots against Kansas over the weekend, too.
Reese, time and time again in this ballgame, and Jay Billis did a good job of talking about it, the on-ball screening action, they did not do a good job of communicating. They didn't do a good job of staying down in the stance. They just didn't defend like, if you score on me, it's really going to bother me. And that's not a sign of a team that I think is ready right now to win an SEC championship.
And maybe the SEC not as weak as some had thought, especially with the emergence of that pack of hogs over in Fayetteville, wins over Oklahoma and Texas now, and maybe all of a sudden as we